Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wrestling with the Apester. I am the Apester himself, of course, and today we're going to be reviewing Crown Jewel 2023. It literally just ended as of, I'm going to say, 4:35 in the afternoon. It is currently 4:38 in the afternoon. It is a Saturday, November 4th. Of course, obviously. Now, I am not in my game room. I'm not even home. I'm in the comfort of my girlfriend's car, as you may know. You know, I go to work with her to go walk around the plaza, walk around the stores. Don't ask me why. I just do it because I like to walk. You know, this is my way of getting my workout. You know, I go to work. Well, yeah, I guess you could say, quote unquote, go to work, but at the same time, I don't because I kind of walk around the plaza that she works in. Anywho, yeah, I'm a pretty crazy person, man. I literally walked from here all the way to the Stop and Shop down the street, and that is about a 30-minute walk. So I know it sounds kind of crazy, and I know some of you probably are saying, yeah, okay, yeah, I've already walked like 2 hours just to get to the store. Yeah, that ain't nothing. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. I am here to review the results for the 2023 Crown Jewel pay-per-view event. This was, of course, in Saudi Arabia. We had a kickoff show match to start. Just kicking it right into high gear right away. Now, before I review these matches, I am going to tell you my prediction, like what my prediction was, and then the actual results. So I'm probably not gonna go through all the matches entirely. I mean, a lot of it I was like in and out for the show, for the whole show in general. Like I was just like, because I was at home when I was watching this, and I was watching on my phone, and on my TV I had Drake and Josh on, so I was kind of like back and forth watching. So it was kind of like hard for me to really like give you like a proper like actual review, but I'm gonna do it anyway because now it's become a habit at this point. Like I really have to review it at this point. But yesterday I actually made a review, a predictions podcast, but that was just it wasn't uploaded footage, so I do not have it. I deleted it. I was like, that was literally about a 35 minute podcast, but I ended up deleting it. I was like, you know what? I'll just give the predictions on the review show, my predictions before the match and then after what actually happened. Some of it, but my predictions that I had given in that deleted footage, I'm gonna say most of it, if not all of it, was right. Actually, it was just mad. I'm thinking just for 1 second. One of them I was wrong. I was wrong on one of them, and I'll tell you which one it was. It was spoiler alert, it was the John Cena versus Solo Sikoa match. I was wrong with that one. That one was predictable. I'm thinking right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm just thinking here for a minute. That one. The Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre match. That's another one. I'll get into that one soon as well. Very soon, actually, because that was the first match of the show. But as far as the first match overall, the entire pay-per-view, including the kickoff, we had the kickoff show, and for the first time in a very long time that I can remember, we're having a kickoff show like a match on the kickoff show. And it was Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough, or as Simon Miller on What Culture likes to call him, JD McDonut. My prediction for this one was that Sami Zayn was going to win it, and I was right. Sami Zayn won the match. They had a collar and elbow tie-up at the beginning. I'm not going to read through all this, like I said. I'm just going to tell you what I thought of the match. I thought it was cool. I mean, at the same time, it was kind of just there. I felt like it was just a match that like could have just been on Monday Night Raw. But by the way, I'm reading this off of WrestlingHeadlines.com as of right now at this moment. Usually I use CBS Sports to read these things off of, but it looks like these guys don't grade these things, I guess. But I will read off the end here, like the end of the match. Basically, McDonough with the standing Spanish fly for a 2 count. McDonough goes for a moonsault, but Sami gets up on his feet in the air. Zayn with an exploder suplex into the turnbuckle. Zayn delivers the haluva kick. And then Zayn connects with the Blue Thunder Bomb to pick up the victory, which is crazy because not many times do you see Sami Zayn win with the Blue Thunder the Blue Thunder Bomb. It's crazy. Simon Miller is going to be going crazy when he does the ups and downs for the show. Which, speaking of which, I'm going to have to watch that probably later tonight. But that was the end of the match. Basically, it was just I feel like it's something that could have been on Monday Night Raw. I mean, I don't even know why I was there. Sami Zayn wins over JD McDonough. So that takes us to our next match, or the first match officially of the night. And it shocked me that this was in the beginning of the show, but Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. So first of all, I thought Drew McIntyre was going to win. That was my prediction. But spoiler alert, he didn't. I actually really, really did think that Drew McIntyre was going to win it. 100%. I had my sight set on Drew McIntyre winning the World Heavyweight Championship and taking it home with him. It's just the way they built it, the matchup, like especially with Drew McIntyre and his heel turn. But I see where they're going. I feel like I see where they're going with this. Now I feel like we're really going to start seeing a Drew McIntyre heel turn. I feel like he's going to come out. Maybe Seth Rollins is going to come out and say, hey, I retained the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Drew McIntyre comes out and maybe freaking shakes his hand, all of a sudden attacks him or something. I don't know. Or maybe Drew McIntyre's in a match or something. And I don't know. I feel like on Monday Night Raw, he's going to turn heel. Like, officially, I feel like he's just going to do a heel move. And, I don't know, like this haluva kick. Like Sammy, or not haluva kick, I'm sorry, that's Sami Zayn's move. Claymore kick Sammy or something. I don't freaking know. Something that's gonna make the crowd go, oh my god, I can't believe he just did that, and now he's officially a heel. Yeah, something like that. And it kind of shocked me too, because Seth Rollins was the first one out here. So I thought, man, is Drew McIntyre going to come out with the Broken Dreams theme song? Is he going to bring back his old theme song from 2016 when he returned, or 2017, whatever the hell it was? I literally was just like, oh my god, they're actually going to bring it back. I even put in both the earbuds too to listen to it, and then it was just his normal sword theme song, and I was like, oh, okay, well. Yeah, anyway, this match was pretty cool. I watched, I'm going to say part of it. I did watch most of it, not part of it, maybe like half of it, maybe 3/4 of the match I watched. It was pretty cool. Obviously, these two can really go in the ring. I freaking love their chemistry. It's awesome. Rollins scores a left jab. Rollins, blah, 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 blah. I'm just reading through this real quick. This is a lot to read. I'm not even going to read all this crap. I know Drew McIntyre had went for a Claymore, I think, at one point, and Seth Rollins kicked out, if I'm not mistaken. This is all just boring stuff here. It's just, your regular match stuff. But I am gonna read at the end here. Obviously, the finish is what you guys want to know, right? So where can I start here? Let's see. Rollins drops. Hang on, let me go back just a little bit more. Rollins drags McIntyre to the corner. McIntyre avoids the Phoenix Splash. McIntyre delivers the... I don't like the way they're wording this. McIntyre does this. McIntyre does that. Jesus. McIntyre delivers the Claymore for a 2 count. McIntyre goes for the Claymore, but Rollins counters with another super kick. Rollins then drops... I'm adding words in here because they keep saying, Rollins did this, Rollins did... I don't like the way this is worded at all. Rollins drops McIntyre with the pedigree. This was after the super kick. Rollins dropped him with the pedigree. Again, they're saying Rollins, but I'm just going to completely ignore that. But he basically, Seth Rollins, he super kicks, drops him with a pedigree, then a curb stomp, and to pick up the victory. And that was it. Seth Rollins retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Really cool match, definitely. Obviously, Drew McIntyre was beside himself after he lost the match. But all of a sudden, Damian Priest's theme song hits, or the Judgment Day's theme song hits. And out comes Damian Priest with the referee and the Money in the Bank briefcase. And this is the moment where I legitimately thought, oh my god, he's going to cash in. But at the same time, I'm like, wait a minute, something's just not right here. Like, there's no way he's going to like, Seth Rollins is not knocked out. Like, like, Seth Rollins is still, like, probably just barely good enough to, like, survive it, But you know what? You never know. So I was like, oh my god, Damian Priest is actually going to cash in. And he's given the briefcase to the referee. He's like, I'm going to tell the announcer, talking to whatever, like, oh, I'm going to cash in. All of a sudden, this hooded man, this man in a black hoodie comes out, attacks Damian Priest, and that hooded figure happened to have been Sami Zayn. He took the briefcase, he ran off with it. Damian Priest ran to go chase him down to go grab the briefcase, ran down into the crowd. Seth Rollins was just watching on the whole time, and he was just like, what the hell? But he was like, oh, well. And then he just continued to celebrate again his victory against Drew McIntyre. And then that takes us to a backstage skit real quick. I mean, nobody said anything in this skit. It was basically Drew McIntyre sitting on like a crate, and he was like beside himself. He was upset. He didn't say anything. I mean, he was just sitting there like just very upset that he had just lost, and just at the same time you can see like he's angry. But then Rhea Ripley comes in the shot, and she basically shrugs her shoulders and said, as to say, like, hey, you should have listened to me, and then walks off, and it takes us to our next match. But yeah, I'll cover the next match in just a second, but first, man, I cannot wait to see Drew McIntyre officially turn heel. That's going to be really cool to see. He is so much better as a heel. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see it. Hopefully he brings back, like, the old jacket that he used to wear. Not the jacket, but, like, the long coat or whatever it was. And he puts the hair back, like, on front of his face, like he used to, like the wet hair, and it used to be in front of his face, and it made him look like a badass. Like, I love that Drew McIntyre. It's my favorite Drew McIntyre thus far in his career. So that takes us anyway to our next match, which is for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. It is Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Zoe Stark in a fatal 5-way match for the Women's Championship. You know, the match starts, and immediately Nia Jax steps outside of the ring. She was like, nope, I already know all you guys are going to target me, so I'm just going to go outside the ring. Excuse me, you guys go handle your business while I just chill outside the ring. Of course she did this. And by the way, thank God Nia Jax didn't win the title. But my prediction for this match, by the way, I don't know if I told you, for the last match, I predicted that Drew McIntyre was going to win it. But Seth Rollins retained the title. Yeah, I was sort of surprised, but I wasn't at the same time. Anyway, back to the women's match. My prediction for this one was that Rhea Ripley was going to retain 100%, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if I had to choose somebody else to become a champion apart from Rhea Ripley here, for me, I predicted Nia Jax, unfortunately. But if you want, like, who I want to see become a champion or retain, either I would have wanted Rhea Ripley to retain, or if we have a new champion, I would have wanted to see Shayna Baszler. I think that would be interesting, but then again, I think Raquel Rodriguez even. I'm kind of stuck between the two. I mean, who I would have wanted to see if there would have been a new champion. But I would have wanted to see, in reality, I would have wanted to see Rhea Ripley win it, and she did. She retained. So yeah, that was my prediction, and I was right. Rhea Ripley retained the title. And I was wrong about the Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins is the one that won it. And I was also wrong about the John Cena match. And I'll get into that soon, but basically Nia Jax, anyway, back to the women's match. Nia Jax gets outside of the ring. All the other women are fighting in the ring. Just gonna skip through all this. Jax comes in every now and then in the match, and she's just in and out of the ring. It's kind of bullcrap if you ask me, because man, it's like one of those things like, oh, I'll deal with you guys after everybody is out on the ground. But I'm pretty sure there was a move at one point where everybody was on the top rope and they did like a superplex and everybody was down, and Nia Jax came in the ring. But I'm just gonna basically read off here the ending here. Rodriguez connects with the I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Tejana Bomb for a 2 count. Ripley goes for the Riptide, but Baszler counters with the Kirifuda clutch. Rodriguez drops Baszler with the big boot, and then Ripley headbutts Rodriguez. Ripley with a deadlift, Riptide for a 2 count. Starks put I sound like fucking Porky Pig now. Anyway, Ripley with a deadlift Riptide for a 2 count. Zoe Stark puts Rhea Ripley on the top turnbuckle. Stark hits a forearm with a forearm shivers. Stark is lighting up Ripley's chest. I don't know the wording for this. My God, the way they're wording this is freaking crazy. Ripley headbutts Stark. Ripley plants Stark with the avalanche Riptide into Baszler to pick up the victory. Yeah, I believe this was a the riptide from the top rope spot. I did just barely catch the move. I looked up at the TV and she had already just planted it, but you can tell she had came off the Rhea Ripley came off the top rope with an avalanche riptide on top of Baszler, and then she pinned Shayna Baszler. Yeah, so that was a pretty cool match. I don't know what they rated this match, but really cool move there by Rhea Ripley to do the riptide from the top rope from Stark to Stark on top. So she basically like picked up Zoe Stark, did the riptide, and it landed on top of Shayna Baszler, and she went to pin Shayna Baszler, and she won. I really hate how Shayna Baszler was the one that got pinned in this match. I mean, I wouldn't mind Zoe. I mean, I don't know who I would want to see get pinned, but obviously Nia Jax didn't get pinned. So technically, you know, she's still. I don't even know. I don't know, but anyway, Rhea Ripley, she retains the women's championship. Thank God. Really, I most likely just didn't want to see anybody else in this match win it, apart from Rhea Ripley. She, you know, I feel like her reign should continue until WrestleMania. And then maybe like some like up and coming star like Kairi Sane. Spoiler alert, she does return in the show, and I'll get to that soon. But maybe Kairi, like somebody like a lower card, maybe come up and like have like one of those like Daniel Bryan moments. Remember Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30? Maybe something like that. Where they can dethrone the queen, just like Cody Rhodes, spoiler alert, is going to dethrone Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I am predicting that right now. It's not just a prediction; it's a spoiler. Okay. Anyway, Rhea Ripley wins and retains the women's the women's World Heavyweight Championship via pinfall to Shayna Baszler. It was a cool match. It wasn't bad at all. The third match, of course, here on the card, or fourth overall, John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. Now, my prediction was that John Cena was going to win this, but I was back and forth. I was mixed on this one. I wanted to see Solo win, but at the same time, John Cena really needs this win. Spoiler alert, Solo Sikoa ended up winning this match, and this is the second and only match that I predicted that I was actually wrong. But yeah, Solo Sikoa just beat the crap out of John Cena. I mean, Cena had some offense in there as well in the match, but the match basically ended when Solo Sikoa hit John Cena with a shit ton of Samoan spikes, and he put him down for the pin. 1, 2, 3, clean as a whistle in the in the ring. Nobody got involved in it. No Jimmy Uso, no Roman Reigns, no bloodline bullshit. It was just Solo Sikoa versus John Cena, straight up, no interference from anybody. But this match does remind me a lot of like John Cena versus Umaga way back when. So I guess, and the people are saying in the comments that there's this is like revenge from for John Cena when he beat Umaga at the Royal Rumble. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I know they had a rivalry at one point. I wasn't 100% sure when. I didn't know it was like around the Royal Rumble season, but I'll just read the ending here. I know he had tried to hit the five knuckle shuffle. Or he nailed him with the five knuckle shuffle, but he tried to hit the attitude adjustment a few times, and Solo kept countering it. But I'll just read the ending right here. Cena goes for the attitude adjustment, but Sikoa lands back on his feet. Sikoa drops Cena with the spinning Solo for a 2 count. Cena blocks the Samoan spike. Cena with a drop toe hold. Cena applies the STF, and guys, I swear to God, this is the way this is worded. They're saying Cena does that, Cena does that. Yeah, these guys suck. Jesus, but CBS Sports hasn't updated their page yet, so. Anyway, Cena with a drop toe hold, and he also applied the STF. He applied it a couple times, but Solo Sikoa nearly tapped out, but he quite didn't. He grabbed the ropes, just just survived it, and that's basically what they're saying here. Sikoa kicks Cena across the ring. Sikoa delivers a series of Samoan spikes to pick up the victory, and after the match, Cena gets a massive ovation from the Saudi crowd. Obviously, your winner, Solo Sikoa, via pinfall. I thought John Cena was going to win it, but he didn't. And yeah, after the match, Solo Sikoa goes up the ramp, celebrates his victory, and meanwhile, John Cena is in the ring. The music stops. John Cena's in the ring. He gets a giant ovation from the Saudi crowd. He didn't say anything. He just put his hand up as to say thank you, and then he got out of the ring and he walked away. And that was it. He kept turning back, looking back and all that, and it was really sad. And Michael Cole, of course, was just saying, the greatest of all time. He was just basically saying, like, oh, you don't know how much this means to my career and all that, and thank you, John Cena. It was really sad to see this. Is this his last match? Absolutely not. I do not believe that this is his last match. I even saw an article on Facebook during the show that it was rumored that he could be coming at Backlash next year, 2024. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe John Cena will appear this Friday night on SmackDown as a surprise for all we know. But I feel like this is the last we're going to see of John Cena for a while. This was the first time in a long time we've seen John Cena return for like a full, I would say temporary full run, I guess you could say. But it's really sad to see this happen. He's putting over all these stars, and I'm really happy about that too, because Solo is a really over star in the company, like in the brand of SmackDown as well. But man, Solo, literally, he has so much potential. Hell, I wouldn't even mind seeing him dethrone Roman Reigns. I would go that far. But we all know that it's either gonna be Cody Rhodes to do so. Damian Priest could as well, but I don't believe LA Knight or Damian Priest is going to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns, because they're going to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. That's just my theory. I think the one to dethrone Roman Reigns is going to be Cody Rhodes. If I had to choose somebody else, it'd be Gunther. Sorry about that. I just got a notification. Anyway. Speaking of which, actually, before I get into the next match, I was actually thinking of getting a mic. I was thinking of getting a professional mic. I've looked at different places. I've looked on eBay. I've looked at Best Buy, Walmart. I even had one. I just didn't want to get a cheap $40 mic and it operates like crap. I did see one at Staples that not only can you play online with it, like it's just like a regular headset you can play online with. But I figured, I had the idea, like, okay, maybe the mic would work on this headset. Not only can I use it for gaming, but I can use it for podcasting and for all that other stuff. So, and also I was thinking of probably making a YouTube return. Maybe briefly, maybe not. I'm not sure, but I have been thinking about that lately a lot. And and if I'm gonna have to do that, I'm gonna have to come back with a mic. I don't have a mic. I mean, I know when I recorded on the computer, I used to use the computer speaker, but now I don't have that laptop, I should say. I don't have that laptop anymore. I gave it to my mom because now I have a gaming computer. However, I don't have like a screen. Like I usually connect my computer to the TV, and that's how I see the TV. That's how I see the computers, through the TV. All you tech geeks are like, oh, but you're gonna all the frame rate and it's gonna be off by a couple seconds. Like, shut up. Just shut your mouth. I know what I'm doing here, okay? I ain't no professional YouTuber or nothing, but man, I don't give a shit. It's my channel, okay? I'm just kidding, man. Just please don't go after me. Anyway, completely off topic. I'm sorry about that, but this takes us to our next match. Actually, no, it wasn't a match. It was actually Miz TV. The Miz comes out. Pretty decent ovation. And by the way, I thought I was going to see Cristiano Ronaldo in this Premium Live event. He was referenced, I believe, twice in the entire pay-per-view. I know Drew McIntyre had done like Cristiano Ronaldo's victory thing that he does when he jumps up and he puts his arms out. And he's like, hey, like when he shoots a goal. And Wade Barrett made reference to that. And then also the Miz in this promo, in this segment here on Miz TV, made a reference to Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, in the promo. I'm going to read this whole thing out here, basically, before I read it. basically, the Miz TV, he had a special guest, and it was Saudi Arabia's own stand-up comedian, Ibrahim Al-Hajjah. I hope I pronounced that right. Anyway, he's from Saudi Arabia. He came, I guess he's an actor of some sorts up there. He's like really famous up there. But anyway, he came down to the ring, and the Miz was like, okay, so what aspires you to become what's inspiring you to become a wrestler? And then right when he was about to speak, Grayson Waller comes out and he cuts him off, and he basically says, no, this isn't the Miz TV. You call this a show? And then next thing you know, here come all the tech geeks, all the squad, I don't know, bringing out the little plants and palm trees and the Grayson Waller effect sign, and Grayson Waller was just like, yep, this is done, no more Miz TV, this is now the Grayson Waller effect. And basically Miz attacked him, and so did Ibrahim, if I'm pronouncing his name right. I hope so, correct me if I'm wrong. He attacked him as well. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, so I think we're going to see Miz versus Grayson Waller. But I am going to read through this. It's not that long. I'm just going to read the whole thing. Oh, by the way, I'm just reading this here. Ibrahim plants Waller with the people's elbow. The crowd went freaking ballistic for that. Anyway, let me read this here. There was a Miz TV segment featuring Grayson Waller and a stand-up comedian, Ibrahim. I'm not going to pronounce the last name because I don't know how to pronounce it. Waller turns Miz TV into the Grayson Waller effect. Ibrahim says that the Miz TV is the hottest show in WWE. It seemed like he was about to say Grayson Waller effect, but like, because Grayson Waller was like sitting there just like, yeah, he's gonna say it. And then he's like, Miz TV, and then Grayson Waller was just like in shock, like, what? And the crowd went crazy for it. But anyway, he says that it's the Miz TV is the greatest, hottest show in WWE. Waller tells Ibrahim to get out of the ring. Waller attacks Ibrahim, and then Miz drops Waller with the big boot. Miz destroys Grayson Waller effect set as Miz sends Waller's face first into the I don't know how to pronounce this word. Enziguri. Oh, there. Okay, duh. So basically, he big boots him and he hits him with the Enziguri. Yeah, that's the word. And then the skull connects him with the skull-crushing finale. And then that's when the whole people's elbow, Ibrahim plants Waller with their people's elbow. That was awesome. The crowd went freaking nuts for this. They went nuts for it. The crowd was just like, what? You know, like they're just going crazy. And by the way, speaking of which, let me go back to the Sami Zayn match. When Sami Zayn came out, they imploded. Everybody was just singing his theme song and all that, and it was just so cool. I love Sami Zayn's theme song. The funny thing is, what would have happened if the same error had occurred like it did on Monday Night Raw? So Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago, Sami Zayn's music hit, and it was actually his old theme music from when he was with the Bloodline. His heel theme song came on, and the crowd was like singing the theme song at first, and then when it shifted, like dun 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 dun, when it shifted to that one, the crowd was just like what? And then Sami Zayn, even when he started the promo, he's like, well, I haven't heard that one in a while. Imagine if that would have happened just now right here in Saudi Arabia. I would have been, dude, that crowd would have been livid. But yeah, that was obviously a technical error. Thank God. Anyway, that takes us to our next match officially. Of course, the last match was Solo Sikoa beating John Cena, which was pretty sad. But the next official match here, which is the fifth match actually overall of the whole show, it was for the United States Championship, Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul. So, I predicted Logan Paul to win the United States Championship, and I was right. Unfortunately, I was right. I told my friend that, and my friend was like, dude, if he wins, I'm literally going to I'm going to text you and say, F you. And right after he got the win, I got a text message from my friend saying, F you. And I told him, I said, I told you so. I did not want this to happen. Listen, guys, I'm not the one that made this happen, okay? I'm not the one in charge of creative. If it were me, I would have had Rey Mysterio retain it. But in reality, the way they were building this up, and you can tell, I mean, that guy just ran a stop sign. Jesus Christ. You could just tell, like, that this was going to happen. I mean, imagine the headlines. Logan Paul wins the United States Championship, and he takes it around the world with him. Maybe he takes it to boxing. I don't go boxing with them. Freak do I know. He goes streaming on YouTube or Twitch or whatever the frick he does, whatever the hell he does. He goes on Good Morning Today or something. I don't know. With the United States Championship. Imagine. And that would draw new people into the product, into WWE, into wrestling. And that's how you get views. And that's probably the way WWE saw it. And they were like, you know what? We're just going to give it to, maybe he didn't run a stop sign out. Maybe there's no stop sign there. That's pretty crazy. There should be a stop sign there. Anyway, back to the match. Sorry, I'm losing track here. Yeah, very predictable. Very, very predictable. I knew Logan Paul was going to win it. But basically, he won it after getting some brass knuckles from some dude outside. I think it's one of his buddies. I don't watch Logan Paul on YouTube or anything like that, so I don't know who this guy was. But he basically passed him the brass knuckles. All of a sudden, I think Rey Mysterio attacks him, and then the brass knuckles falls outside of the ring, and then his buddy, like, sneaks, like, still, like crouch sneaks to go grab it, and then he ends up grabbing it, but then, or tries to grab it, but then Santos Escobar gets involved. He steps on the brass knuckles before he could even grab it, and I'm guessing he grabbed it and put it on the ring apron as Santos Escobar was chasing him. So Santos Escobar basically was chasing the guy down, and I'm guessing that the brass knuckles, he let go of it like onto the ring apron. But anyway, Rey Mysterio eventually by the way, I'm not reading any of this. Rey Mysterio tries to go for the 619. Logan Paul grabs those brass knuckles. Luckily, it's right in front of him with our luck here, guys. He grabs the brass knuckles. Rey Mysterio hits the 619, but at the same time, you can tell it kind of hit Rey's leg for a second there, but then Rey Mysterio goes to the top rope to do his splash that he normally does, or he jumps up on the top rope, whatever he does, like, you know, after the 619, he jumps on the top rope and to do a splash on him. Anyway, so as he was going to do that, Logan Paul punches him with the right hand that has the brass knuckles on it. 1, 2, 3, your new United States champion, Logan Paul. The crowd's booing him out of the building. This was so predictable. Oh my God, man. I didn't think the brass knuckles was gonna get put into play, but I knew somehow, some way, Logan Paul was gonna win the United States Championship, and I freaking told you so, Devontae. If you're listening to this right now, I freaking told you so. I hate the fact that it happened, but at the same time, I knew it was going to happen. It was so predictable. Even if he holds it for a month, I don't care how long he holds it. I mean, I kind of do. I hope he loses that Survivor Series. I really, really do. Maybe, hell, this might even give Santos Escobar a chance to win the United States Championship, and I really hope it happens. Or maybe even Carlito. I would love to see that. Something tells me Santos Escobar is probably going to get that victory. Probably going to get that opportunity to face the United States champion, now Logan Paul. Ugh. Man, I really hated this. I mean, the match was nice. Like, obviously, as much as I hate Logan Paul, I have to admit, his in-ring skills are second to none. I freaking love his in-ring skills. I mean, he's really cool in the ring. He's a high flyer. You know, he can go to the top rope. He nails these moves. He's so good. He's really good. But you just love to hate. I mean, I love to hate him, honestly, if I'm going to freaking be honest with you. I don't know. I just really I love his moves. I don't know. He's just high flyer. He's a high flyer. He's really cool at it. He's good at it. You know, I don't know. There's not really much to say, honestly. But I just really hate Logan Paul. I like his wrestling ability, but at the same time, I just hate Logan Paul. Like, I'm just speechless. Like, you can tell, I can't even speak. Like, I don't know. There's not really much I can say, honestly. But yeah, Rey Mysterio loses the match, loses the title. I'm pretty sad to hear that, but new United States champion Logan Paul via pinfall. Of course, there was freaking shenanigans in there with the freaking brass knuckles, but Yeah, what's next for Logan Paul? What's next for Rey Mysterio? I don't know. I think maybe Santos Escobar could go for the United States Championship. Maybe Rey Mysterio could go back, could get a rematch. But yeah, at the end of the day, Logan Paul's your new United States Champion. And there's nothing much I can say about that. This next match right here, this is where I thought it was the second to last match. Of course, Roman Reigns and LA Knight being the last match. But then I forgot about Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest, which was after this match. But before I get to that match, obviously I got to get to the next match. So after Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, we had Io Sky defending her WWE Women's Championship against Bianca Belair for the Women's Championship. My prediction on this, I was mixed with this one. I was very, very mixed, as a matter of fact. So my prediction was this: if Bianca Belair were to win, she was gonna win clean, no problem. Or Damage Control would get involved and cost Io Sky the title. Those were my two predictions right there. But my prediction for Io Sky winning it, either Io Sky was going to win clean, or Io Sky was going to win thanks to Damage Control. And I was partly right. I was partly right about that. So basically, the match, I'm going to sum it up to you like at the end. Damage Control did get involved. I know Bayley went up to the ring apron and she tried to distract the referee. Bianca Belair almost had the win. Matter of fact, she literally had Io Sky down for the 3 count. But like I said, Bayley goes up to the apron and she's distracting. She's distracting the referee. Bianca Belair realizes this and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" and attacks Bayley. And then she was going to go for the KOD on the outside of the ring. However, she was attacked by somebody, and at first I thought it was Dakota Kai, but it was actually a returning Kairi Sane. So Kairi Sane attacks Bianca Belair. Io Sky's in the ring she can't believe like what's going on outside. Basically, that helps Io Sky retain. I mean, Io Sky, she retained. That was basically it. I mean, Kairi Sane got involved. Io Sky retains the title. Just like I said, Damage Control got involved, but to my surprise, Kairi Sane got involved as well. However, at the end of the match, we saw Io Sky, or Kairi Sane, excuse me, raising the hand of Io Sky. And that leads us to believe, man, could we see Io Sky and Kairi Sane team up again? Because apparently they were tag team down in NXT. I didn't know that. I don't watch NXT. I wouldn't really know. But how cool would that be? And Bayley was watching on as well. Like, I guess you could say kind of confused in a way. Like saying like, wait a minute, we're Damage Control. We're, I don't know how to describe it really. I mean, you'd have to go and see it for yourself. A really cool moment. Hopefully they do end up tag teaming. And the first thing I thought was like, man, I hope Io Sky leaves Damage Control to team with Kairi Sane and we can have that tag match, Maybe have them take the women's tag team championships away from Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And officially uncurse the freaking titles, man, because those titles are cursed. So I'm just going to read the ending here. Like I said, I don't read all this crap. I really don't want to read all this. Let me go back before Kairi Sane gets involved here. I'm trying to find a place where I can read it where I'm just not boring you guys. I'm sorry. So, Io Sky avoids the handspring moonsault from Bianca Belair. Standing switch exchange. Sky drives Belair's face first into the middle rope. Belair sidesteps the springboard missile drop kick. And then Belair hits the glam slam. Belair goes into the cover, but the referee is distracted by Bayley, which I had already just told you guys that. Belair blasts Bayley off the ring apron, and then she clotheslines Sky over the top rope. Belair then hits a slingshot pescado to Bayley. Belair tees off of Bayley, and then she sidesteps Sky into Bayley. Belair throws Sky into the ringside barricade. Bayley continues to run interference, but instead, Belair rocks Bayley with a forearm smash. I am actually adding words into this as I'm reading, because all of this is like Belair does this, Belair goes that. So I'm just adding words here so it's not sounding like I don't sound like a fucking robot here when I'm reading this to you. And I'm sorry for the language. I'll apologize for that. Belair goes for the KOD, but Kairi Sane gets in the way. Kairi Sane delivers the spinning back fist. Same with the flying knee strike off the barricade. Belair, of course, gets back in the ring just at the count of 9. Sky connects with the over the moon salt to pick up the victory. After the match, Kairi Sane and Sky gang up on Belair for maybe about a minute or so. Sane plants Belair with the flying elbow drop, and then Sane hugs Io Sky, and Bayley looks completely shocked on the outside of the ring. Yeah, that's what happened. Like I said, Bayley was just in complete shock as Io Sky and Kairi Sane were hugging each other in the ring, as if to say, like, Io Sky's done with Damage Control and moving on to teaming with Kairi Sane. So I guess this could be like planting the seeds again, and I say again because this has already happened before, where like we teased a breakup of Damage Control, or at least Io Sky leaving Damage Control. But I guess now we're planting seeds to Io Sky leaving the Damage Control to teaming with Kairi Sane. We might see it, we might not. I don't know. I hope we see it. That'd be so cool to see them team up again, even though I've never seen them as a tag team. But just looking at them together in the ring, I see them as a really cool tag team myself. Like I said, I never really watched NXT. I've watched NXT before, but like I'm not synced into it, so I don't really know many of the people on NXT. I've never watched it back then, so I don't really know facts about any of the guys coming from NXT. But yeah. So at the end of the match, Io Sky is still your women's champion, your WWE Women's Champion via pinfall victory. And that takes us to the match I completely forgot about, because I thought the next match was the main event, which was Roman Reigns and LA Knight, but I completely forgot about Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. That's when they started advertising it, and I was like, well, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, anyway, I predicted that Cody Rhodes was going to win it 100%. There shouldn't be any issues, no problems whatsoever. Even though I knew the Judgment Day was going to get involved in some way. And I'm surprised Dominic Mysterio wasn't part of the show at all. But Finn Balor was there. JD McDonough obviously was there because he had a match earlier in the night. But eventually they got involved in the match. Here we go with the Judgment Day involvement. But this is where I thought at first, like, okay, Damian Priest is going to win. And my prediction of Cody Rhodes winning is down the toilet. But eventually, Cody Rhodes hits not 1, not 2, but 3 crossroads in a row for the victory. 1, 2, 3. He pins Damian Priest and he wins the match. Not much to it. Again, this is one of those matches where you probably see on a Monday Night Raw. It's not really that crazy. I mean, yeah, I know that Cody Rhodes had the injured ankle or the injured leg or whatever it was when he was injured a couple weeks back on Monday Night Raw, and I remember watching this because he came, and the main event of Monday Night Raw, he came out limping, like really slow, like just limping at the same, like running but limping at the same time. But you get the idea. Anyway, he comes out like fucking quickly limping to the ring. And he cuts like a mini promo, basically saying he's going to kick his ass in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. But yeah, takes us to this match. Obviously, Cody Rhodes wins the match. That was my prediction, and Cody Rhodes actually won the match. I was right. Jesus, excuse me. I don't know what that was. I was right about 90% of these matches. I was correct. That I knew for a fact that Cody Rhodes was going to win this match. But I'm just going to read the ending here. There was at one point a crossroads, or at least Cody Rhodes tried to hit a crossroads on the top of the announce table, just like Cody Rhodes had done it to JD McDonough a couple weeks back on Monday Night Raw. But that failed because Damian Priest reversed it into his own Crossroads, but except he doesn't call it, except Damian Priest doesn't call it the Crossroads. He calls it, I believe it's the Reckoning. Yeah, he calls it the Reckoning. And he hit him on the top of the announce table, the Reckoning onto the announce table. I'm just going to call it the Crossroads because it's basically the Crossroads. Michael Cole sold it as his quote-unquote his version of the Crossroads, so I'm just going to call it the Crossroads. He hits the Crossroads to Cody Rhodes. Brings him back in the ring. The fight continues back in the ring. Rhodes drops Priest with the Cody Cutter. Rhodes and then he unloads a flurry of left jabs. And then he delivers the bionic elbow for the 2 count. I love these kind of moments where, the son, hits the father's finish or the father's move. Like in this case, Cody Rhodes hit the bionic elbow. Dusty Rhodes made famous that move, of course. So cool to see that. The crowd went crazy for it. Obviously got Priest down for a 2 count after that. Priest denies the Crossroads, and Priest with a step-up enziguri. I can pronounce the word this time. Rhodes launches Priest over the top rope, and then Priest with a spinning roundhouse kick. Rhodes super kicks Priest, but then Rhodes super kicks Priest, and then hits a super Cody Cutter for a 2 count. Misfired clotheslines. Yeah, these guys are terrible at work. Whoever made this article is horrible. Rhodes ducks a clothesline from Priest. Rhodes connects with 3 Crossroads in a row to pick up the victory. Of course, Cody Rhodes wins via pinfall. Not a bad match, whatever. Like I said, one of those matches you see on Monday Night Raw. But I liked it. It was cool. Nice to see it. But obviously, Finn Balor got involved in the match. JD McDonough got involved at one point in the match as well. I was hoping that Sami Zayn would maybe come out and help him, but he didn't. So, whatever. Cody Rhodes wins clean with the 3 Crossroads in a row. 1, 2, 3, match is over. Cody Rhodes is your winner. Once again, I can't stress that enough. And this takes us to our final match of the evening. Here we go. Roman Reigns versus LA Knight for the undisputed Universal Championship. Now, before I get into this match, the first match of the night, obviously, was Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. And I thought I was going crazy when I saw Byron Saxton doing the announcing. Like, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Like, and I'm just sitting there listening. I'm like, he sounds familiar. And I see him in the ring, and I'm looking really closely, but the camera's not zooming into him. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that Byron Saxton doing the announcing? It wasn't until this last match, Roman Reigns versus LA Knight, that I realized, wait a minute, that is Byron Saxton. Like, I thought I was going crazy. And I even asked my cousin, my friend. I asked my friend, I was like, Devontae, is that Byron Saxton doing the announcing? He's like, yeah. I was like, I thought I was going crazy. But anyway, yes, Byron Saxton is an announcer. He why does he remind me of Tony Chimmel? I don't know why. He reminds me of Tony Chimmel, the way he announces. In certain words that comes out of his mouth, like, it makes it sound like Tony Chimmel. But anyway, Roman Reigns versus LA Knight. My prediction for this one, it was so obvious. I mean, my prediction was that Roman Reigns was going to retain. I didn't want it to happen. My gut, my heart says I want to see LA Knight win the Universal Championship. Undisputed Universal Championship, as I should say. But at the same time, the reality, there's no way LA Knight's winning this match for 2 reasons. One, the Bloodline's going to get involved in some form or fashion. 2, it's just not LA Knight's time yet. This is probably what WWE's thinking. I'm not saying that saying that personally, that LA Knight is not ready, because I highly believe that LA Knight is ready for a world title. But Roman Reigns is not the one. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins or whoever holds the world heavyweight championship at WrestleMania. LA Knight will walk out of WrestleMania as a champion. I promise you that. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. He's either going to win the Royal Rumble or he's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and he's going to go after Seth Rollins for sure. Or like I said, whoever the world champion is at that point in time. I believe it's going to be Seth Rollins still, but or maybe it could be Damian Priest. I would love to see Damian Priest cash in at one point between now and maybe Survivor Series, hopefully. And then we can see Damian Priest at WrestleMania versus LA Knight. LA Knight BFTs him 1, 2, 3. The crowd goes freaking ballistic in Philadelphia, and I can't wait for that. Yeah, that's my prediction for later on. But my prediction here was that Roman Reigns in reality was going to retain. But I really wanted to see LA Knight win it, but obviously it's not going to happen. I know Booker T, I think on his podcast or something, had said that this is LA Knight's moment. If he doesn't win it now, like I don't know, they're not going to know what to do, like LA Knight's just, he's buried, basically. I mean, that's what my friend said. He basically said that they're going to bury him if he loses, but I don't think he's going to bury him. I mean, I don't know. The way this match ended, it kind of felt like they buried him, but I don't know. The crowd is still over with him, so it's, we're going to see LA Knight win a world championship. I promise you that. Definitely not Roman Reigns' title, at least not anytime soon. So, anyway, Roman Reigns versus LA Knight. Roman Reigns luckily didn't take that long to get to the ring. Usually it takes like an eternity and my entirety on this earth. My entire life on this earth. 24 years to freaking get to the ring. But this time he took about 3 or 4 minutes. Not too bad, I guess. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the match. I'm just going to cover the match here. Basically, everyone's rooting for LA Knight. The crowd went crazy when he came out, by the way. He did the whole LA Knight. Yeah, he did the whole thing. Basically, most of the match was Roman Reigns just freaking destroying LA Knight. But of course, I'd say mid to maybe 3/4 of the match into the match, I should say, LA Knight did pick up some offense here and there. But it ended basically, Jimmy Uso came out. LA Knight was about to win it, but Jimmy Uso, I believe, came out and he stopped the pin from happening. And I know Solo Sikoa got involved too. Oh yeah, this was before Jimmy Uso came out. So Solo Sikoa was on the ramp, distracted the referee. Jimmy Uso comes out from near the announce table and pulls LA Knight, or pulls Roman Reigns out, pulls Roman Reigns out of the ring, to avoid LA Knight from pinning him, and then LA Knight's just in there, he pulls Jimmy Uso's hair. The referee is realizing that Jimmy Uso is there at this point, and Jimmy Uso basically got fucking slammed into the announce table, which was awesome. But at the end of the day, Roman Reigns, Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, 3, match over. But I know at 1.2, LA Knight hit the BFT and almost got Roman Reigns. And there was even a part in the match where LA Knight hits the damn BFT. He goes for the pin, and I shit you not, my heart sank to my ass when the crowd said 3, because I actually thought LA Knight pinned Roman Reigns. I swear to God, I thought LA Knight had him. But it was literally 0.99999999999 that Jimmy Uso picked up Roman Reigns' foot and put it on the bottom rope. And the referee saw it right. I swear to you, the referee's hand could not have been any closer to the ring canvas when he saw that Roman Reigns. Matter of fact, he might even have hit the 3 count. It looked like he hit the 3 count, but then he looked up and he was like, "Wait a minute, no, his foot's on the rope," and he disqualified he basically told the announcer hey, no, it's a 2 count, it's a 2 count. I actually thought it was a 3 count. The referee literally pretty much hit the 3 count. I thought LA Knight was the new champion right then in that moment. If Jimmy Uso were to have missed it by a split second, we would have had a new champion. And that would have been by accident, because I'm pretty sure this was planned, that Jimmy Uso would come out and put Roman Reigns' foot on the bottom rope, and that would have been by accident. And the crowd would have exploded. And the crowd did for a brief second, when the referee hit that almost 3 count, but at the same time it looked like a 3 count. When he hit that 3 count, in a way, I'm going to say almost 3 count, because it looked like a 3 count, but it wasn't. But the crowd literally said 3, and in that second, the crowd exploded. in that second. But then they realized, and then the referee realized it, and the crowd died down almost immediately, like started to die down, and they started booing. It was a crazy, crazy moment. But let me go ahead and get to like near the end here. I'm probably gonna read this whole giant section here. I know it's gonna sound a lot like I'm gonna try making it so I don't sound like a robot, because this is literally the way. Sorry, my friend tagged me. This is literally the way that they're wording this. I shit you not. They're like, LA Knight hits a BFT. LA Knight goes for the pin. LA Knight kicks out. LA Knight this. LA Knight that. You know what you can do? What's this? WrestlingHeadlines.com. You can take this freaking article and shove it up your ass, okay? Anyway, I'm going to try making it so I don't sound like a robot as best as I can, all right? So if I stumble, I apologize. Knight goes for the elbow, but Reigns counters with a Superman punch for the 2 count. And then Knight also, man, see what I'm saying? I'm trying not to say the word Knight, because they use the word Knight like every other fucking word, my God. Knight goes for the elbow, but Reigns counters with the Superman punch for the 2 count. LA Knight also avoids the spear, and LA Knight is with clubbing shoulder blocks. That's a period, wait a minute. See, the way they word this is horrible. Man, this is terrible. Knight puts Reigns on the top turnbuckle, and then Reigns with heavy body shots. Reigns headbutts Knight, but then Knight does a springboard superplex, and it is really hot in his car. Ugh. Knight delivers the elbow for another 2 count, but officials and referees are trying to prevent Solo Sikoa from walking down the ramp. This is when Jimmy Uso pulls Reigns out of the ring to save him. But Knight goes after Jimmy by pulling his hair up, and Reigns nails Knight with a Superman punch, hits him with a spear for a 2 count. This is where I thought the match was over, but no, 2 count. I kind of lost my train of thought here. Reigns tees off on Knight and then applies the guillotine choke. I know he was in the guillotine choke for a while. Knight passes out for maybe a couple seconds, but then he regains his momentum back. Like he's like moving his hand around. The crowd's going crazy. They're clapping for him. They're saying, "Come on, LA Knight! Like get up, get up, get up!" And then he attacks him. He hits him in the stomach. LA Knight's hitting him in the stomach, trying to avoid it. But then Roman Reigns immediately hits the guillotine once again. This is coming out of me, by the way. This is me I'm not reading this right now. He hits the guillotine again. And I'm over here thinking, why doesn't Reigns just jump up on top of LA Knight and wrap his legs around him like he normally does? But at the same time, I was like, please don't do it, because then LA Knight's going to actually pass out. At first, that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought LA Knight was going to lose by knockout. I thought, oops, disconnected my headphones there. Sorry about that. Sorry if the sound quality sounds completely different after doing that. I don't know if it does or not, but because I have a speaker on my headset. But anyway, yeah, so Roman Reigns, again, he hits him with the guillotine choke. And then next thing you know, LA Knight is about to pass out, but nope, he gets back up again. He rams Roman Reigns into the corner. He hits him with some right hands. Knight drives the knee into the midsection of Reigns. Knight repeatedly slams Reigns' head onto the announce table. And then he also grabs Jimmy Uso's head and starts ramming his head into the announce table at one point. And Knight blocks the super kick from Jimmy Uso. Knight puts Jimmy through the announce table with a belly to back suplex. And then that's when they get back in the ring. Roman Reigns spears LA Knight through the ringside barricade. And then they get back in the ring, sorry. Reigns rolls Knight back into the ring. He plants Knight with another spear to pick up the victory. That was the end of the match and the end of the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, basically. To sum up that whole freaking rigmarole of what I just said, it came out like all spewed out. Let me just go ahead and repeat what I just said. Roman Reigns basically speared LA Knight through the barricade, brought him back into the ring, speared him again. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns is still your undisputed Universal Champion. That was the main event. And that was the end of the show. I thought maybe someone was going to return. Randy Orton there were CM Punk chants at one point in the show, I think twice. I think one of which was in this match. It was a cool pay-per-view, I guess. It was all very predictable. I knew Roman Reigns was going to win. I knew Logan Paul was going to win. I knew Rhea Ripley was going to win. I knew Sami Zayn was going to win over JD McDonough. I didn't even know the match was even going to happen until yesterday when I made a predictions podcast. But like I said, I deleted the footage. But I didn't even know it was going to happen until I opened up the WWE.com website and I saw it. Like, quite literally. That's when I found out about it. But the event ended. It was like 4:45-ish or whatever. Whenever I started the podcast, basically. That's when the podcast, or that's when the premium live event ended, and yeah, I made this podcast. Here I am reviewing it, literally right after the event ended. It's so much better for me to review it, after the event, because I remember most of it, or at least the main event. Like, I remember most of it. But yeah, basically, it was one of those Roman Reigns matches where we see every single time, the challenger is just about to win, but then nope. Out comes the bloodline to interfere. Roman Reigns spear, 1, 2, 3, still your champion. Or bloodline interferes, guillotine, knocks out one, and that's it. But I would have appreciated better if LA Knight would have passed out. I feel like the match should have ended with LA Knight passing out. I mean, my heart tells me it should have ended with LA Knight beating Roman Reigns. But if this is the way you're going to go, I feel like they should have ended it with LA Knight passing out, because now it feels like you buried LA Knight. I'm not saying LA Knight can't lose matches. What I'm saying is that with LA Knight going out with a pin like that, like, it just feels like you just buried LA Knight now. I feel like if you're going to have LA Knight lose, you should have had him lose by knockout. At least he would have passed out to the guillotine. And still your champion, Roman Reigns. That's something they should have done but didn't execute on. I did not like that at all. But other than that, most of my predictions were correct. The only ones I was wrong about was Drew McIntyre winning the World Heavyweight Championship, which I was wrong, and John Cena winning the Solo Sikoa match, which I was wrong with that one as well. Every other match I predicted, I was right. Man, it was a cool pay-per-view. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. Nothing crazy, nothing insane. I mean, we had Kyrie sane, but other than that, the crowd didn't really react that much to it. I mean, not that I heard, at least. I had both earbuds in, and I didn't really... I mean, compared to, like, most returns, WWE returns, and the pops that we get, like, it wasn't that big. Like, people, like, half the people were like, who is that? I bet you any money people that are leaving the arena, probably as of right now, that people are still leaving the arena, they're like, who the hell was that? People watching at home, obviously, are probably going crazy because the announcers were like, it's Kyrie Sane, it's Kyrie Sane. But people watching live, they were just like, who was that? I thought it was Dakota Kai at first. But hey, it is what it is. Roman Reigns retains the title. He's going to hold on to it till WrestleMania. Rumor has it right now that Roman Reigns is not going to compete until Royal Rumble, which is a load of bollocks. I feel like he should defend the title at Survivor Series. He has not been in a match since Survivor Series. Obviously, Crown Jewel is the last match of the year from what I'm hearing. So if that's true, then that means Roman Reigns has only defended the title 5 times this year. 5. Within 365 days in a year, 5 of those days, Roman Reigns has defended the title. That is your Universal Champion. To me, in my eyes, he's not a fighting champion. He's not even a champion in my eyes anymore. He's just holding the belt. He's just holding a title belt, for me, in my opinion. He's just holding it, just playing around with it. Like, at this point, he's not a world champion. It was after WrestleMania last year when I said, okay, he's not a champion anymore. Because after that WrestleMania last year, I was just like, okay, what are they going to do with him now? Like, now what? He beat Cody Rhodes. Now what? Who the hell's going to beat him now? He's beating Brock Lesnar. He's beating John Cena. You name it. He's beating him. He's beating he's beating Jimmy and Jey Uso. I'm sure. I know. Hell, Jey Uso got the pinfall victory over him. Yeah, but it wasn't for the title. If it was for the title, that would have been insane. But it wasn't. Roman Reigns got pinned, and I loved every second of that. I really did, and I reviewed that too. You should go listen to that. I forgot which pay-per-view it was, but it was insane. But my prediction with Roman Reigns is that he's going to hold the title until WrestleMania. He's going to come back for Royal Rumble season, Road to WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, obviously. Maybe he might be there. Which, speaking of which, that's going to be in Saudi Arabia. Or not Saudi Arabia, Australia, which means I have to wake up at like 6 a.m. to watch this crap, and that's not going to happen anymore. I am not going to wake up that early in the morning to watch it. I will tune into it whenever I do. And I'm just going to go from there. I'm not going to tune in at 6 o'clock in the morning to watch this event. There's no way. And it's on a Saturday night, much less. I already wake up early for work every day as it is. I'm just not going to do it. Whatever I miss out on, I'll just go on YouTube and just watch the highlights or something. Or I probably won't watch the entire event, and I'll watch it maybe later on in the day and then review it after. I'm just not going to sit there and watch it from beginning to end. Whenever I tune into it is when I tune into it. The first thing when I wake up, I'll put on the pay-per-view and watch it, but I'm not going to sit there and wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I remember I literally had an alarm set for the Super Showdown show in Australia. I literally had an alarm for 5 in the morning to wake up to watch this. And it wasn't even worth it for the most part. The only thing I wanted to watch it for was Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker and Kane, DX versus Brothers of Destruction. But anyway, that takes me to the end of this podcast. I really hope you enjoyed. For those of you listening on YouTube, the link below will be for the Spotify version of this podcast. And for those of you listening on Spotify and you want to listen to the YouTube version, I will have the link below as well. I'm not going to be uploading this pod. It is 5:44 as of right now in the afternoon. At night, I should say now, because it's freaking dark out here. Thanks a lot, Daylight Savings. Which, by the way, the time is actually going to go back, which means we're actually going to get more sleep, which is awesome. But anyway, yeah, we got to put the clocks back again. I hate this bullshit, but at least we get more sleep. Look at the bright side. But the bad news is, now it's going to be nighttime at like 4 o'clock in the... I mean, look at this. It's 5:45, and it already looks like it's like 8 o'clock at night out here. But anyway, I'm going to end this podcast off. I'm going to go walk around some stores. I'm going to go see if I can go shop for a mic, maybe. Who knows? Maybe go buy some snacks. I'm hungry. I don't know what my girlfriend wants for dinner, but I'm going to ask her. Maybe I can order some pizza, pinpoint delivery from Domino's, bring them right here. I don't know. We had Domino's the other day. I bought a buffalo chicken pizza, and it literally came without the buffalo. How the hell do you make a buffalo chicken pizza and not put buffalo on it? Luckily, I had buffalo at home, and I just put it on top, but it wasn't the same. It was horrible. And, yeah, that's basically it, though. Like I said, if you're listening on Spotify to this podcast and you want to listen to the YouTube version, there is no video footage. It's just, the only difference is you can subscribe to my channel and like the video and put a comment down below, which I do recommend if you have something to ask me. If you have your insight, what did you think of Crown Jewel? Put it in the comments below on the YouTube version, please. I'm not sure how the comments section works on Spotify podcast and if that's even possible. But if you're listening on the Spotify version, the link will be below for the YouTube version of this podcast. And of course, if you're listening on YouTube and you want to listen to the Spotify version, the link will be below. The link will be below as well for that. I'm just gonna put the link for the playlist of the podcast. Just go down my podcast and go to the more recent episode. Just find Crown Jewel. The link's not gonna take you exactly to the Crown Jewel, or the YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube and you want to listen to it on Spotify, I believe that link will take. No, it won't. I was going to say it'll take you directly to the episode itself, but the link is going to take both ways, by the way. It'll take you to my podcast overall. You're just going to have to scroll down and find the podcast you want to listen to, which in this case, you probably want to listen to Crown Jewel. Go down to the more recent one, click Crown Jewel, and click play and listen on. But I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning of the podcast, but I am thinking of coming back to YouTube again. I don't know how frequent it's going to be. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be putting out. Maybe one a week. We'll see if that's even comes to fruition, but I know my girlfriend's going to be working full-time at Amazon now as a driver. Obviously, I'm not going to say where exactly, what location, but she's going to be a driver full-time. She's going to be working freaking countless hours, and the time that she's going to be at work, I could probably put a video or two in, you know? It gives me time to record. It gives me time to put a video in, and not only that, on a personal level, it gives me a little break from paying most of the rent, because I pay most, like about 75% of the rent. So now she's going to be getting a full-time job now. She's going to be getting paid more, which means it's like $200 more she's going to be paying me, and $200 more that can go into my credit card, you know, that I can save up for myself and for this savings account, you know. Anyway, enough of the personal stuff. But yeah, I am looking to get a mic, though, to record for YouTube. I am looking to do gaming again. For those of you who don't know me, just getting to know me, I do have a YouTube channel, Kev Creeper. Go ahead and subscribe to it. I have been thinking of, like I said, going back on YouTube. But usually the gaming I do is wrestling, or mainly Minecraft, I should say. Minecraft, wrestling, like WWE games. But right now I'm focusing probably on Minecraft. Anything on my PC I can play, so like Minecraft, there's some older GTA games that I have on there, like GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, GTA 3. But right now I'm thinking of doing like Minecraft videos at the moment, because I have been playing Minecraft lately. I have been playing GTA Vice City as well, but that's kind of slowly starting to die down, unfortunately. But I kind of hate that. Don't you hate like when you're into a game, but then you get into another game and the other game you were into the first time, you're slowly dying down on? Like, I really hate that, unfortunately, but that's the way it's going. I mean, but anyway, that's the end of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I know it kind of dragged on a little bit. I'm not sure how long the podcast has been going on for. I hope you enjoyed Crown Jewel. Let me know in the comments below on the YouTube version, you know, what you thought of Crown Jewel. What did you think? Did you think what were your predictions even for Crown Jewel? Did you think Roman Reigns was going to retain? Did you think LA Knight was going to be the champion? Did you think Rey Mysterio was going to retain, or Logan Paul was going to win? Let me know your insight on this pay-per-view, and of course on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. This is part 11, I believe, of this, but I'm just going to end it off right here, right now. As I was saying before, this is not going to be uploaded probably until late tonight, like really late. Like I said, I'm with my girlfriend at work with her. She gets out at like 10:30 tonight. So this podcast is probably not going to be out till at least maybe like 11 o'clock at night tonight. So let's assume tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, you guys will probably get to listen to it. Let's assume, because you guys are not going to be listening to a podcast at like freaking 3 in the morning. If you do, so be it. Go ahead. I don't care. I mean, that's on you. But yeah, it should be uploaded really late tonight. Really late tonight. I'm not going to upload it right now because, I could if I wanted to. But for those of you that want to listen to it, the YouTube version, you're going to have to wait until late tonight for that to go up. So I'd rather just upload it all at once, YouTube and Spotify all at once, because for me to upload it on YouTube, I need my computer for that. And obviously I don't have my computer with me. So, because for the YouTube version, I have to convert, so I basically have to upload the Spotify version. So Spotify version will always go up first. So I would have to upload the Spotify version, 100% has to be uploaded. And then that's when I go on my computer. I go to the Crown, of course, whatever podcast I want to, in this case, Crown Jewel. I click on it. I download the audio file. From there, I go on a website that converts that audio file to a video file. And then, of course, it asks me for an image that I want to show in the entirety of the podcast. Unless I go on YouTube and edit it otherwise and put other pictures in there. But in my case, I put my podcast logo on there. So anyway, it tells you to click whatever image you want. I usually put the Ape Squad podcast picture. But anyway, I put that, and then I click convert, and it converts it from an audio file to a video file, which allows me to upload it to YouTube. And that allows me to put like a description under it, which is it's basically the same description as I put on Spotify. But instead of saying, hey, here's the YouTube link, because obviously you're already on YouTube, here's the Spotify link, or on Spotify, or you're listening to on YouTube and you want to listen to Spotify, on the bottom, on the description below, it'll say, here's the Spotify version, you know. Obviously, I'm not going to put the Spotify version in the link below in the Spotify version. It doesn't make sense. You're already listening to the Spotify version. So, anyway, I'm done rambling on, I promise you. So, this is the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tell your friends, family, cats, dogs, kittens. Go to the zoo and tell their animals about me, man. Go to the store. Hell, I'll go to the store right now and tell them, hey, I have a podcast. Listen on, man. It's about wrestling. Tell everybody, tell the world about my podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed Crown Jewel. Let me know what you thought about it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.